Yes, guys, what's going on? AdamMcKola here, AdamMcKola TV, back for another MUFC transfer talk. We're live. It has been a while. I apologise for absolutely disowning my channel. Been doing a lot for Full-Time Devils, been doing a lot elsewhere, and just absolutely disowned it. But I'm going to try and come back better than ever. I'm not going to make any promises on any content. I'm just going to keep bringing you videos as and when I can, and hopefully that'll get me into the swing of daily videos again, and it has been so far. So if you've watched the video with us predicting the 11 ahead of the Chelsea game, thank you. If not, go and check that out after. And myself and Stephen Harrison predicted the Premier League table for the coming season as well. That video is already up. So after we're done here with the MUFC transfer talk, feel free to go and check those out. Anyway, we are live and we are here for transfer talk, and we're talking Paulo Dybala, Romelu Lukaku, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Marcos Rojo, and so much more in today's show. Obviously, the title of this video is Dybala for Lukaku plus 20 million. Is that an equation that is going to come off for Manchester United? We've heard a lot of rumours over Romelu Lukaku's future. Now, let's look at that first. Where do we lie on the Romelu Lukaku front? Where are we on Romelu Lukaku's future? Because it's been a big, note of concern for Manchester United. He hasn't been participating in the pre-season friendlies that we've had. There's been talk of an injury. He's obviously not injured. He has been training some of the time. So he's obviously not ready for Manchester United season, which begins in less than 2 weeks. He's been talking about a move to Inter Milan, Serie A. Antonio Conte has been talking about a move. His agent's been talking about a move. And as of yet, we haven't been able to come to an agreement with Inter Milan. United want to recoup as much money as possible as they can. Hopefully that's £75 million we paid for him when we signed him from Everton 2 seasons ago. And I don't think that's unfair. In this day and age, in this market, with Romelu Lukaku, at his age, he's still got his peak years ahead of him. He's an absolute goal scorer. Let's not disrespect him here. He's going to score goals wherever he goes. And United are losing goals when we let him go. But I understand why he wouldn't want to be second choice or play second fiddle, because he's a striker that should be starting for a team. So this move to Inter Milan seemingly been on the cards this whole time. But Inter Milan can't afford him. They haven't been able to get the fee together or raise enough funds to be able to buy him. So we've been left at a stalemate. We've got a player that wants to leave and is open to a move to Inter Milan. We've got a club that can't afford to buy him, but other clubs have been sniffing around. And Juventus are one of these as well. Now, Romelu Lukaku's never closed the door on any other Italian club or Serie A club. He's never closed the door in terms of saying, you know what, this isn't going to happen. I only want to go to Inter Milan. So Juventus is an interesting one. Yes, they've got Cristiano Ronaldo, but there's been talk that United have asked for Paulo Dybala, or, if other reports have you believe, Juventus have offered Paulo Dybala in a deal for Romelu Lukaku. Now, he's valued higher than Romelu Lukaku. So some of the reports that are coming out of Italy are that Manchester United are potentially looking at a Lukaku plus 20 million, 30 million euro deal for Paulo Dybala. Now it would help because it would mean we're getting in a replacement for him. He's a player that can play along the front line just in the hole. He's a player that can offer various positions for United. And that's what we need in the system that we're playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But is it a move that's going to come off? At the moment, the reports are that Paulo Dybala is going to speak with Maurizio Sarri about where his future lies in this team. Is he going to fit in to Sarri's system? We've seen Sarri is a very system-orientated manager. He has certain players for certain positions, and if they don't fit into what he wants to do, he'll just disregard them. We've seen that. So he's having a chat with Sarri to discuss his future. Now, some of the reports where he doesn't want to leave, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him not want to leave the Italian league winners, a team that's in the Champions League, going to be challenging for the Champions League, to go to a club that is Europa League team. Of course, he's spoken highly of Manchester United in the past. He's tweeted about Old Trafford and all this stuff glowingly in the past as well. And there's obviously some sort of connection there. But does that mean Dybala is going to be a Man United player? You guys know me, I'm always pessimistic with these things. But some of the reports and some of the reporters that are reporting the interest are actually quite reliable, the likes of Damasio and co. So it's something that you sit up and have a look at. It's something that, if Dybala says, I don't want to leave, it falls flat on its face straight away, because then, there's no swap deal. Lukaku won't be able to go there. We'll probably have to carry on negotiating with Inter, which you're led to believe is still ongoing. Inter Milan have been talking about trying to get a deal together. Now, it probably Inter Milan's fault for playing hardball when we wanted Perisic, that United are playing such hardball. But that's where we're at with Dybala, with Lukaku. Lukaku's still open to a move, still wants to move. He's not in Manchester. Dybala, does he want to leave? If he wants to leave, that could trigger the move then to happen. If he's open to a move to Manchester United. If it doesn't, Inter Milan, are they going to cough up the money? Or will United be left with a player that doesn't want to be there and had his heart set on a move elsewhere? It's something we've got to consider, because at the moment, Inter Milan haven't got the money for him. And at the moment, Dybala hasn't agreed to join Manchester United. So that's where we are at the minute with that one. Now I'm going to dive into the comments. That's where I've got my phone out and I'm looking in the comments. I can see Kato, I can see Ammon, all asking for Maguire news. We'll speak about Maguire a little bit later, and Bruno Fernandes as well. Blake says he thinks the academy boys will kick on this season. The trouble for Manchester United is we don't want to be heaping too much pressure on the likes of Mason Greenwood, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez, James Garner, Scott McTominay even. I know Scott McTominay is 20, 21, 22. But we don't want to be heaping pressure on these guys that have just come from the academy. We do need some reliable heads in there. And for me, we haven't got enough in central midfield at all. We just haven't got enough. If we get Dybala, he can play in a diamond behind Marcel and Rashford, says Haroon. It does open up, the kind of ways we can play. I still think we're massively missing out in central midfield, which is a huge, huge area. And you look at the players we've been linked to, they don't really occupy the position, we need. Bruno Fernandes is seemingly a fantastic player, but he's more going to play in the number 10 position, further forward. We're looking at our midfield. We've lost Herrera. We've got McTominay and Fred, who, Fred still to show that is that £50 million player we bought. Scott McTominay has his limitations, but he's a good squad player. Matic getting older. You look in our midfield, Pereira not proven in a competitive campaign. He does well in pre-season. He needs to prove himself. You're looking around and you're thinking, where's the quality in midfield apart from Pogba? There isn't any really, and it's surprising that we're not linked with more. We see Idrissa Gueye go to PSG for 28 million. Now I know as soon as United are interested, it's 60 million. But we're looking around and there's players there on the market that are moving in positions that we need. Yet we're seemingly sticking with what we have now. Has Oli seen that I need a centre half more? Is that what he thinks? And because he can't trust the club to bring in, more than the centre half that he needs, he's just going for that rather than But for me, a central midfield is probably more important. We've got so many options at centre half. You could bring in Twanzebe, and getting that central midfielder, I think, is very important. But then relying on Smalling, Jones, Rojo, Lindelof, Bailly, it's not a position you want to be in again, because we've seen that they can get injured, they can, drop out of form. They're not the greatest. No partnership really developed from them, and we need something reliable. I think Lindelof could become that man, but I think we need someone alongside him. But again, I think a central midfield is more important, and it doesn't look like we're interested. We've got around 300 people watching at the moment. Get hitting that like button, guys. Can we get to 200 likes on this video? And of course, get your thoughts in the comment. Blake says Fred has the potential to be great. Mini says, agreeing with someone else. United will lose Pogba for sure, says Rafiq. I'm hoping it's not now. I'm hoping it's, next season, if ever, because we can't be losing more quality in midfield. Like I just said, we haven't got great quality in midfield as it is. Just to recap, what we've spoken about so far has been the Dybala Lukaku transfer talk. Now, we've heard, obviously, Lukaku linked with a move to Italy. Could be Inter, could be Juve. Inter Milan failing to come up with the money. United have asked for, or Juve have offered, depending on who you believe. Dybala in a deal for Lukaku, which could see United getting Dybala, giving Lukaku plus 20 to 30 million euros. And then what kind of, that could be a great deal for United. But is it likely to happen? It relies on Dybala agreeing with it now. The talk is he's going to have discussions with Maurizio Sarri and Juventus and decide his future. Now, we're hoping Maurizio Sarri says, you haven't got a future here, mate. I want Lukaku. You may as well go United. And then we've got a player that's coming in who's quality. And we don't have to, worry about replacing Lukaku then. Because we already need to bring... If we let Lukaku go and bring in Dybala in that deal, get Maguire. I'd love if we could squeak in a midfield. And then I'd be actually quietly confident going into the new campaign. Because you'd look and you'd think, okay, we've got someone, whoever that may be, to play in midfield alongside Pogba. Then you look at McTominay, Fred, Pereira, Matic. Not bad for backup. Mid in that centre-half position, if you got Maguire and Lindelof, and then Bailly and Smalling, Jones or Twanzebe or whoever as backup, it starts to look a little bit stronger, do you know what I mean? But that's a dream scenario. And right now I don't feel like these dreams are going to come true for United fans. But that's just me. I'm pessimistic all these transfer windows. I'm always pessimistic. Guys, make sure you're keeping your comments coming in on Dybala and Lukaku. We're also going to speak about some other stuff as well. But while we're on it, Dr. Tom Moy says Sal Sanchez and Rojo now. We've heard Marcus Rojo could leave Manchester United this summer. The ESPN have reported that the club are open to offers for him and he's open to a move. So that's something that we could maybe see progress in terms of a player leaving, which we need to do. We need to trim the squad. We've got a massive squad and a lot of players that aren't really offering much. We've said it before, we need to get ruthless. I love Rojo. He's a mental bastard. But if we sell him, it's better for the team because then we can maybe promote someone into his position in a squad or buy a player to replace him. Same with Darmian. Got no issues with him. But we need to get rid. There's a lot of players like that in this squad. Even maybe Matic. But because we're in a position where we've let go of Herrera, when we already need reinforcements, then, that's not going to happen this summer. So you've got to look at trimming the squad in the right places. That's why you're not going to see Ashley Young leave, Chris Smalling leave, because they're probably valuable squad members. When you've got key players in their positions, it's when you have to rely on them that it becomes a problem. Yes, Van Cam's in the comments. Dia says United fans are frustrated with the window. I'm beginning to get frustrated as well. I don't like to panic and I don't like to worry. And I don't like to overreact. But when you come into less than 2 weeks, your last deal was a month ago. What's going on? Have we pondered not doing the Bruno Fernandes deal because the potential Dybala deal's open? That could be something that's happened. Whereas we could be confident Harry Maguire is going to get signed. So we've just thought, let's just play hardball with Leicester City here and get the best deal for the club, which wouldn't be bad because we know he's settled in the Prem. We know he's having a pre-season. He can slot straight in. Bruno Fernandes is crying and all sorts. We're hearing talk about him agreeing deals left, right and centre. Now that could be the case. But United could now be thinking, Dybala might be available. Is there any need getting Bruno Fernandes? And if that was the case, it'd be understandable. But I don't think United have any sense in those footballing positions. And it's why you're seeing them beginning frustration with the Glazers and with Woodward. I've always been frustrated with the Glazers. But you're beginning to see more of it now. People are recognising, and rightly so. But what will happen is signings will happen and it will probably go a little bit quiet. And then it will pipe back up if results don't go our way. But they deserve the pressure that they're under again. Because they haven't been managing things correctly. We hear about positions getting filled in footballing positions, academy positions, technical director, director of football, whatever. And they don't get filled. It's just talk. A lot of hot air, a lot of gimmicks. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for United fans. Now, we've spoken about Dybala and Lukaku. We've spoken about Bruno Fernandes. The latest with him is that there isn't much latest. And that's my prediction. I think maybe we're thinking about Dybala. And therefore, Bruno Fernandes is getting held up. There's talk about Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, but that seems to be Matej Kezman trying to get a deal for his player rather than anything else. Right, what are we on to next? Let's talk about Harry Maguire. Now, what's going on with Harry Maguire? In the last couple of days, we've heard all sorts of talk. The facts are, yesterday he didn't train. James Maddison tweeted that he had the shits, which was nice. But Harry Maguire didn't train yesterday. Now, obviously, people that are sceptical are saying that's to do with the transfer. His agent, or someone from his agent's group, Instagram story them being at Manchester United offices. That set people talking. Typical transfer window stuff, this. But it does seem like Harry Maguire is set to join United soon. When that is, nobody knows. DiMarzio reported that a deal's getting close. The player's made his intentions clear with Leicester City. Leicester City are honouring that, but want to get the best deal for the club, which you can imagine. And now it's just a case of United agreeing a deal with Leicester City. It wouldn't surprise me if we've already, we know how football is, people talk, agents talk. If we'd already got the Harry Maguire side of it sorted, it's now about getting this fee done. And as I said, I don't think United are going to have a massive rush to get that done. I know that sounds weird when you've got less than 2 weeks, but they're probably thinking Maguire wants to come. Nobody else is in for him. Or, Maguire wants to come to us, so there's no worry about him going anywhere else. He's comfortable in the Premier League. He knows English. He knows some of our squad. He'll settle in straight away. Do we need to rush this deal? He's having a pre-season. All that. Now, obviously, you want him to bed into United, the way we play, etc. But that is a side of it where if the club can save 5-10 million, they'll take that. So we have to consider that this one's probably going to drag on a little bit more. Or we just get an announcement in the next day or two. Wouldn't even be surprised if something happened tomorrow. Match day today, so probably not going to happen today. Talking about match day, we'll be doing stuff on Full Time Devils. I'm not in Norway, obviously, as you can see, but we'll have fan cams from Norway, and we'll have plenty more as well around the game. I think the guys are doing a watch along. I'll be live after the match. Do you want me to do an aftermath live later on tonight, looking back at the game and talking about pre-season and stuff? We can do that if you want. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll get that sorted after we go live in Full Time Devils. I've seen the subscribers slowly growing as well while we've been live, so thank you very much to everyone that's been following, subscribing. Keep your thoughts coming in. We're going to stay live for another 5-10 minutes. Obviously discussing Bruno Fernandes, Maguire, Lukaku, Dybala, all things Manchester United. I'll answer some of your questions as well if you have any. We've got about 400 people watching live at the minute. Thank you for tuning in. Get hitting that like button as well. If you're not watching live, then of course, no worries. You can still catch up later like you are doing now. And thank you for joining us. Manchester United, we've only made 2 signings. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I've been really impressed with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Really impressed with him. Obviously, when you look at his stats and you see him play for Palace and all that, you think, yeah, he's good, but is he going to be that good for United? And he comes in and he's making his recoveries, he's making his tackles, he's tracking back well, he's getting forward well. Needs to work on his final ball, his passing, but hopefully that'll come when he gets used to playing with the players that are around him and playing with better players, training with better players. And I've been really impressed with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a player that goes straight into our first 11, slots in at right back, happy days. We need 2-3 more players like that just slot straight into the first team. Central midfield and, of course, centre half. If we can get them 2, I'll be buzzing this transfer window. But if we don't, it's another issue. I said this last summer as well. Everyone knows my opinions on Mourinho by the end with that. He was right to get sacked. But the seed got sold with him and it started to crumble when he never got what he wanted in the transfer window. And what he wanted was a centre half. We all knew that. And it was right to want that. And we didn't get it. And I said last summer, if we didn't get a centre half, I didn't think we'd do anything in the league really or improve on that second place that we had. And obviously it got a lot worse than I expected. But we didn't. And we need to this season. We need to get Maguire done. Hopefully get a central midfielder done. But I'm less confident about that one. And then that means we've still come up short in this transfer window. Frustrating. Kato says, how sure are you on Maguire joining us? Mate, me personally, I have no inside knowledge. What I do is I read the reports that are out there, listen to what I hear, and then just see who's telling you this. Are they reliable? Why would they be telling you this? These are the questions that you ask yourself. Are they reliable? Yeah. Why are they saying it? Could they have been briefed by a club in order to rise a price elsewhere? That's what I felt when we were getting linked with Nicolas Pepe, when we were getting linked with even Bruno Fernandes. I kind of feel like we're being used as a bargaining chip somewhere. But, you know, there's a lot of smoke with that one. You just have to see who's telling you things and why they would possibly be telling you those things. What have they got to gain from it? Apparently I look like Victor Valdez. I don't see it myself, but maybe it's the lack of hair. We are also short in striker position backup. Yeah, I hear you. Not much else coming through. Guys, thank you for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV. You guys have been absolute legends. Those are the latest bits of news on Dybala, Lukaku, Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rojo, and much, much more as well. Make sure you're keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. Subscribe. As you can see, the subscriber count is above me. Can we get to that to 60,000 before the season kicks off? Probably a long shot, but if you don't try, if you don't ask, you don't get, eh? So let's try and do that. Make sure you keep commenting, keep it locked. We'll be back as well. I'll have more after the game, but during the game and immediately after the game tonight, you can find us on Full-Time Devils, so make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled on that as well. But for now though, guys, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.